it's Tina and I am back. And I am here with another Get Ready With Me video featuring this look right here, which I want to call a fall smoky eye. I am using a palette from Give Me Glow Cosmetics. It's the Grunge palette. And they recently posted on their Instagram that they're gonna restock this guy. And I had a comment from one of you guys asking me to use more of my Give Me Glow palettes and products. So that's what I am doing, and it was the perfect time because I'm headed out to lunch with my mom. And I did like this fall look and I really love it. And since it's cooler weather now in the northern hemisphere, we're in fall season, full on fall, it's cooler outside. People are getting more into those smoky, cooler tones, and this palette is like perfect for that. I know it has this red in here that throws you off a bit, but the red actually comes off like a deep burgundy, so it doesn't even look warm at all. But these shades are gorgeous, they're fun to work with, easy to work with, and I know people are more into these kinds of looks these days with the 90s style kind of coming back. So this is very 90s with shimmer and glitter. So anyway, if you want to see how I got this look and see me put that palette to use, then stay tuned and I will talk to you soon. Alright guys, so as usual we're starting off with a clean, freshly washed face. I already filled in my eyebrows with my Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil in the shade 4.5, and I went under that with my concealer from ColourPop. It's the shade Deep Golden, which I believe is 40, and also on my lids I applied my Revolution Pro Creaseless Concealer in the shade C11.2. Under that I have my Urban Decay Anti-Aging Primer Potion just to help prevent creasing. This concealer does crease, so I do have to make sure that I blend it out before I go in with my eyeshadows. But once I go in with the eyeshadow, it should set everything in place. Now my skin is looking a little bit rough. I have some scarring from some recent breakouts. My skin is going through it, and I think because I have been neglecting like my AHAs and BHAs, I haven't really been doing too much of my skincare at night, and I think my skin is suffering for it. And I've also been trying out different foundations, so I'm sure that has something to do with it because I've been like going back and forth between foundations. But for right now, I'm going out for the day, so I'm going in with my vitamin C serum. This is from Timeless. It's the 20% C plus E plus ferulic acid serum. I got this off of Amazon, and the recommendation is actually from Hannah Louise Poston here on YouTube. She uses this and I'm like, you know what? I love a good vitamin C serum, and I've been using the Drunk Elephant one, but I find that the Drunk Elephant one, this one here, I buy it in the little duo because I bought the big one of this and it went bad so quickly and I had to throw it out because it went dark, like almost like brown. That's how expired it went. So this is usually like a light peachy orange, and it just, I don't use it up fast enough for it to not go bad on me. It probably has to do with the packaging and how I'm storing it, but it turns too quickly. So I've only been purchasing the little duo sizes, and these are, I believe, $23 for the two. So you get the serum. You see how it's going orange already with the B Hydra Hydrator? And I love the B Hydra, and I have that in a full size, so I can use that with this vitamin C. And with this, I've been keeping it in the refrigerator, and I'll see how that goes. But for now, I'm seeing if the Timeless will replace this one from Drunk Elephant because it's pricey. It's about the same price for the Timeless one, and I don't have to worry so much about it turning quickly. I don't know, we'll see. But yeah, so we did that. I'm gonna let that sit on my skin and absorb. And for the eyeshadow today, we're using this palette from Give Me Glow. It's the Grunge palette, and they are gonna do a restock of this. So I said, you know what, let me go ahead and use this. So it comes with 9 shades, 9 grungy shades. So you see, it's a collection of wearable neutral shades, but on the more grungy side. So you have like darker shades, you have a really dark brown, black, a deep dark orangey brown, a red, and then a dark purple, and then you have a couple of shimmer shades here as well. So the majority of what we'll use is from that palette, but I'm gonna go in with a shade here to set the concealer in the crease because, as I said, it's creasing. So I just blend it out, hold my eyes like this, right, so it doesn't crease again, and go in with my Makeup Forever M650 Cookie, which is just transition shade for me. It's a skin tone shade, and I'm using my Sonia G brush for this. This is the Detail Pro brush, and I've recommended this brush, and I am working on a favorites brush video for you guys, and this is one of my favorite brushes. It's out of stock right now on Beautylish, and the thing about Sonia G brushes is that they go out of stock quickly. They sell out really fast, and then the restock takes a while. But they're worth the wait. Someone had DM'd me and asked me if there was something that was close to this brush in my collection that I would recommend, and I said no, this is worth the wait. Wait for it, sign up for the emails, do not just purchase something to substitute for this. Wait for this brush. And that's what I did. When I initially purchased this brush, I got one of them, right? And then I liked it so much and I'm like, I need a second one, and I had to be waitlisted for it. And it was worth the wait because I just went ahead and got, I believe, 2 more of them or just 1 more. Because they're pricey. It's $30-something for this brush. I think I got 1 more. And that suffices. So it is worth the wait. Do not substitute. It's not worth it, okay? So we're gonna go in with this shade here, which is Teenage Dirtbag. And I'm just gonna run that in the crease. So it's a tan shade, but it has a neutral gray undertone. And I'm just building it up in the crease to give a little bit of shadowing. So I didn't go in with this shade first because, as you can see, it's a little bit dark and it's rich. So I needed a transition shade to help to be that buffer room for me to give that gradient. And these shades are really pigmented, so they pick up on the skin, and I needed something to set down the concealer so it wouldn't grab onto this color right away. I'll grab a little bit more of that color and pull it on the outer V and outer crease, just slightly, not too much. And then I'm gonna grab the purple shade, which is Punk, and build that up on the outer crease and outer V. So I'm using very light pressure to apply the color so I can get the pigmentation but just not go overboard all at once. So just lightly touch it to the skin and it picks up nicely. It's not gonna look too purple, as you can see up against the grayish tan that we already have down. It almost looks like a dark gray, which is interesting. As you build it up, you'll get a little bit more of the purple. But these shades are meant to be grungy. It's the Grunge palette after all, so it's not gonna be really bright in your face colorful shades. They're not gonna be that punch of color at all. They're gonna be grungy. Now I'm gonna go in with the shimmer shade. So I'm using Nirvana here. And I'm going in with this dry on the lid using a Sonia G Worker 2 brush. This is just a shader brush that's a larger size. And that color applies beautifully with just the brush over the concealer. But I'm still gonna dampen it. I just wanted you to see the intensity that you can get from the shade. This color is like a gray toned bronzy shade. Like I said, I'm gonna dampen my brush, so just a little bit, nothing too crazy. And then lightly go over that color. So I'm not trying to put too much dampness on it because I want it to be nice and metallic, but I don't want it to get crepey. So I'm just gonna blend it out quickly while it's still damp so I don't get like that. See, this one looks a little bit more crepey than this one. So you want to avoid that by not putting too much down when it's wet, because it will create that crepey effect when I just want a smooth, creamy, metallic layer. That actually looks pretty nice, so I'm gonna leave that alone and go in with a little bit of 90s, which is the other shimmer shade. This one has a little bit more gold to it, and I'm just gonna foil it on the center of the lid. And wow, that's gonna give like a really beautiful shine just on the center. I'm not pulling it anywhere else on the lid. That looks great. So you can mix those 2 shades together to get that effect. And then I'm going back in with the blending shade and I'm gonna go around the crease. This shimmer can take over, so I wanna make sure I blend out the edges and then go back in with my mattes. So I'm gonna pick the purple up again and go right on the outer V, outer C to buff over where that shimmer kind of overwhelms the look. So now we pull that matte back into play. I'm also going back in with that first shade that we used, which was Teenage Dirtbag, which is more of the gray tan. and buff that on the inner crease so it will kind of downplay that shimmer. And then I'm gonna go in with Underground, but I feel like I need a smaller brush for this one. So I'm using my Eddie Funkhauser blending brush. This is also one of my favorite brushes, but right now I cannot recommend this brush because the manufacturer changed. The way these are made changed, and now they feel a lot scratchier than the ones I have in my collection. And I had asked Eddie about it, and he said that's because the manufacturer had changed and the bristles kind of had changed as well. So the softness just isn't there anymore, and I can't recommend it to you because I don't know what the quality is like anymore. My personal experience with my brushes, because I bought them in store at Rite Aid, they're very soft. They feel like the Sonia G bristles, just really nice on the skin. He had sent me a new one to try out, and it's still scratchy, so I don't recommend these. I love the shape of it, I love the size, and I wish I could get a brush that's this size with the softness that I'm looking for, but right now this is all I have, and I just have to use the soft one that I have. Alright, now this is very loud, very smoky, so I'm gonna go in with my highlight shade, which is Sugarpill Heart Shaped Cookie. It's just a matte light base shade. And my MAC 252, let's blend that down onto the brow bone so we can pull some of that dark color down a bit. Blend it out. Now I'm gonna pull back so we can work on the face. So I'm gonna go in with my Beauty Blender, the Leveler Pore Minimizing Primer, and this is in the shade Tan to Deep. I'm just gonna apply that to my T-zone area, so my nose, right by my cheek where I have large pores. And I'm kind of doing a pressing and rolling motion to press this into my pores and fill them in. Also gonna apply it between my brows, you know, T-zone situation. I got Botox for a second time for this little area right here, and it's still doing that. So I'm gonna go back in. I don't know if they're gonna tell me, oh, you need filler there, and I'm like, I don't really want to do filler at all. Like smile lines and that stuff, it doesn't bother me, the smile lines, I just don't like this line. So we'll see what they say, because the last time I did the treatment, it was fine, but I went and saw somebody else who was a specialist this time, and it didn't give me the same results. But it's usually you give it a week to 2 weeks, so I'll go back in for my follow-up. But right now I'm not the happiest. For my foundation, I'm gonna use the Beauty Blender foundation. I just received this in PR, and I told you guys that I wanted to use it for you on camera, but I was going out for the night and I wanted to use just my go-to, what I know works for me, before I like put my faith in this and then get screwed at the end of the night. But since then I've used this, I've worn it, and I really like the finish of this. I like the texture and I like the wear, and it feels nice on my skin, and I like the shade match too. The shade I use is 4.2W, which is warm. Now here's the thing about that. It's gonna look warm on my skin. That's just what's gonna happen. I have accepted that. But the shade match is probably the best one I've found so far. I'll probably go back and try to see if there's another shade with an olivey undertone that works better for me, because they have different undertones. They have W for warm, O for olive, and I guess they have neutral too. They have the N, and I'm sure they have pink. So for me, this I have to blend down my neck. I'm using my Artiste brush. This is the Oval 8. I love this brush. It makes foundation seamless on my skin. It's easy to buff in. It looks great. It just works well with most of my foundations. It blends product over my skin really well, so I love this. But you see, this foundation just looks a touch orange, a little bit too warm. But because it's winter time, well, not winter, like not full on winter, but like fall time, I wear stuff that covers hair up to here, so it doesn't really show that much that my foundation doesn't completely match my chest, which I'm okay with. And I've had people say things to me like, oh, that's too yellow, it looks too orange. And on some occasions, I'll admit it can look a little bit orange, but I prefer to have it look great on my face and then worry about what I'm wearing to cover up the areas that I don't need showing if it's just too much. Now I'm gonna go in with my Urban Decay concealer. This is the Stay Naked concealer. So Urban Decay recently released this. The foundation and the concealer, hands down the best things I've tried foundation wise, concealer wise all year. And I absolutely fell in love with the concealer, and it's great because their previous concealer, the, what was that? Ultra Definition, no, that's the powder foundation. What's the other name? Oh, I have it right here. It's the Weightless Complete Coverage concealer, the Naked Skin one. I love this too, so I was happy that their new concealer I also love, because sometimes you'll have a product from a brand that you love and then they change it, they do something different, and you're like, okay, that's a flop. Like the Makeup Forever Velvet, the Velvet Matte foundation, love it, absolutely perfect. Then they changed it to the Matte Velvet Skin. I like that, but I don't love it as much as the previous one. So it's great, but I still prefer the original. With this, the concealer from Urban Decay, I prefer the new version. And that's what it should be. If you're gonna improve the technology, then make it better than it was. And I feel like Makeup Forever didn't really do that for me. All right, let's go ahead and set this down. So I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder in the shade Dark. And my lovely, one of my favorite brushes again, is the Smashbox Air Buki. Is it called the Air Buki? I think it is. Sculptin Buki. Sculptin, oh, if they said Air Buki, wouldn't that be cute? But it's just a kabuki brush with a curved shape. So that's why I absolutely love it for powder, because it gets into all the nooks and crannies. All right, so let's add a little bit of the black to the eyes. This shade is called Black Hole Sun. And I'm a little bit nervous that it's going to be really black, so I'm lightly applying that. Same blending brush, so light touch, and just blend it out lightly. I mean, it wouldn't be a grunge palette without a black, right? This is giving me very 90s. Blend, blend, blend. Okay, I'm going to wipe the brush off a lot. And then I'll really, really blend out the edge of that color. Alright, let's do mascara, which is my usual Too Faced Better Than Sex, and then I think I'm going to go in with lashes as well. I'm going to use these lashes that I've used before from Miss, and these are their 3D lashes. The style is M353. While the glue sets up on my lashes, I'm going to go in on the lower lash line, and I'm going to use the red burgundy shade here. This is the namesake of the palette. It's the shade Grunge, and I'm applying this with a Builder 2 brush from Sonia G, and I'm applying that right up against the lower lash line with a Builder Pro brush from Sonia G. Now the shape of it is a little bit different. I washed it so it's a little bit more tightly packed now, but it fluffs out if you let it dry openly. But I use a little bit of aloe vera gel on my brushes sometimes, and it really tightens up the shape. So I'm just running that right on the lower lash line. So that's going to give like this, I look like my eyes are sore. Wow. Okay, so we're going to do that first, all right? Bear with me. Then we can go in with the Punk shade, which is the dark grungy purple, and smoke it out. So now it's giving more of that grungy vibe. It's not as red, but that's a nice red shade. Definitely. So I think I'm going to leave it as that. I really was thinking about putting like a color on the lower lash line, like a bold color, like I normally do. That's how I do my pop of color. But I'm like, why? Keep it grungy, keep it fall. And I'm just going to blend out the edge with a Sonia Kashuk blending brush. And that color actually picks up really nicely on the lower lash line. Like, look at that. That's a good color, right? Alright, now let's pop on these lashes. These are a nice style. They're a big, fluffy style, at least big for me. I know these are not big. Let me stop lying to myself. These are just big for me. I know people wear really huge lashes, but I don't go overboard with my lashes. I like my eyeshadow to sing, and I just use my lashes to accent my eyes, just to give it a little bit more, you know, elongation, a little bit of oomph. But I don't want it to be like, I'm just wearing lashes. No, I'm wearing eyeshadow and then lashes, not lashes and then eyeshadow. You get what I mean? So these lashes are really beautiful, and they're like, how much was it? $3.99 at my beauty supply store. So you don't even have to spend a lot on lashes. Just get some nice fun ones, and this is the way to practice with lashes, to see what style you like, what style you prefer. I love the Ardell lashes too, which I tend to get on sale. But look, simple, nice, easy. Alright, so what I like to do with lashes is pinch them with my lash curler. And this is a Shumura open cage lash curler. So I can just pinch the sides. I don't like the full cage lash curlers because then I can't fit my lashes in there. With the open cage style, I can pinch them as I need. And that's just to blend my natural lashes with the false eyelashes. And then I'll also go over the lash band a little bit with some black eyeliner. This is from Fenty Beauty. It's just a fly liner. But I'm not creating a line. I'm just covering up the lash band. And you see, I'll zoom in so you can see this. There is some shimmer on the lash band and on the lashes from the shimmer on my lids. So I'm just covering that up with the black eyeliner just to make that nice and seamless. Now let's go ahead and put a little bit of black eyeliner on. This is from Urban Decay. It's Perversion. Now the thing about this liner is it kind of irritates my eyes a little bit. So yeah, we'll see how I fare today. And then lower lash mascara is my MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara. Alright, so for my cheeks, I don't want to go too cool tone because I feel like I'm going to look too drab. So I'm popping on this blush from, who is this? The Balm. It's their In-Stain blush in the shade Swiss Dot. I'm just going to pop that on my cheeks for some color. That's a lot of color. Whoo! Maybe I went a little bit too far with that. I forgot that this was really pigmented. But that's alright. That's alright. A little color never hurt nobody. And in that case, we just go over it with our powder brush just to back that off a little bit. But it's not too bad. It's not too bad. I wanted to use a highlighter that I have in my collection that I don't think I've ever used on camera. So this is from NARS. It's the shade Hot Sand. And it came out, I think it came out as a duo, and then they released it as a single. And I'm just gonna buff that over my cheeks. Oh, that's pretty. This is the highlight brush from Sephora, the magnetized one. I like this brush, and I think it's like $8 if I'm not wrong, or like $12. I think the eye brushes are probably $8 and then the face brushes are $12. But it's a nice little highlight brush. That is pretty, right? But I'm nervous. Like, it looks a little bit too icy. Should I go in with some of my Fenty highlighter? Why not? Let's do some of the Fenty. So I'm using Afternoon Snacks. So this is from, I think this is the most recent release where it's more wearable, like neutral tones, and pop that over it. Okay, that is pretty. Y'all know I don't wear highlighter like this. Who am I fooling? Who am I fooling? Jesus have mercy. Let's buff that out. I'm just using this large brush from Beautyblender, which I really like this brush. I don't even like large powder brushes, to be honest, but I feel like this is so, it's not like it's floppy, but it is looser, so it feels really airy on my skin versus the other large brushes that I have. And I know there are other brushes like from Sonia G that I could get that probably have the same feel, but just based on how often I would use a brush like this, I wouldn't invest the amount of money that it costs for a Sonia G brush. But I like this one from Beautyblender, and the fact that it has this little cooling ball on the end is a perk, but I know not many people are going to be into that. But this brush is actually pretty nice, so I'll use it for this purpose. It's just going over everything, buffing and blending everything in place so I don't look crazy. On that note, let's do some bronzer. So I'm using Hoola Caramel. And this is just a Morphe, what is this? The E41, which I've been using a lot. This is a denser brush, so I wouldn't necessarily use it for the same thing I use the Beautyblender one for. That one is more of a buffing type of brush. This one is gonna apply some color. So let's pull back lips. I'm gonna go eat crab legs, to be honest, so I really don't want to put anything on my lips, but let's figure it out. In cases like this where I just want to go nude but it's cool toned on the eyes, I'm gonna go in with a cool tone nude. So this is Anise from Marc Jacobs Beauty. It's shade 146. So it's a light nude, okay? Bear with me. This looks crazy. Okay, maybe not bear with me. Hold on, maybe I'm just trying this out. Very light nude, but I'm gonna go over it with a lip gloss from Pat McGrath Labs. It's the shade Flesh 6. Is it 6? Flesh 6. This one is now gonna go over that, and voila. This way I don't have to worry about eating and stuff. Okay, that gives a nice color to the lips. And that's it. That's the finished look. My turtleneck has color on it already from foundation, so I had to like refold it and stuff. I'm gonna actually show you my outfit. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna show you my outfit, and here's a close-up of the eye so you get an idea of what we're working with. So the Grunge palette, really beautiful. I think you can get a really beautiful look from this. If you're into cool tones, I think this is a great palette. And the lips, nice and simple. I think the skin looks great. The foundation from Beautyblender is great. My highlighter, excuse me, I'm looking cute. My mother's probably gonna be like, where you going? But don't worry about it, mommy. And I'm gonna let my hair just air dry. I did my Brazilian blowout, so my hair won't get as big and as frizzy as it normally does. It will just dry in like loose, kind of slept in wavy hair. Alright, so there you have it. This is the completed look, and I am loving it. This is a great smoky grungy eye. I love it. I love it. This is great for fall. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this get ready with me video. Enjoyed seeing some of these new products in action. Some of the older products that I have in my collection that I haven't used on camera yet. Hopefully you guys got inspired. All that good stuff, you know how we do here. As usual, I'm gonna go ahead and leave a full list of all the products used and mentioned in this video down below in the description box, along with links on where you can pick them up. If those links take you to Sephora or Ulta, those are affiliate links, which means I will get a small sales commission if you make a purchase through those links, which does help me to put right back into the channel. So thank you guys if you do use my links. I really truly appreciate it. And I will also leave a link to Give Me Glow Cosmetics. I really love their eyeshadows again, and they have different palettes, and they restock every Friday. So I stalk their Instagram to just keep up to date with what they're coming out with. They release new products all the time. So this is one that they're gonna restock. They're also restocking the Christmas palette, which I might actually do a look on since they are releasing that again. I haven't really used it, which is weird because I had it on back. The point is, okay, if y'all want me to use that palette in a get ready with me video, just let me know and I can do that for you guys. But yeah, stay tuned for the outfit, and until my next video, wait, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat, you should follow me along because we have fun over there. You'll see other like photos of my day, videos and stuff. You'll probably see my mom, and you'll see my outfit and all that stuff. So follow me along there. We have fun. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye guys.